Hey, good looking. I'm so glad that you came to my kitchen today to sit there and see what we have cooking. Grab a hold of that vine, swing right onto my kitchen, and let's get cooking. Good looking. Well, hey there, good looking. I'm so glad that you came to my kitchen today because we're going to be canning Salisbury steak. So let's go all into the star ingredients of this recipe. I have white button mushrooms. I have portobello mushrooms. We have some honey mustard, French onion soup mix, beef bouillon, Worcestershire sauce, or what some of you might also sit there and call, what's the chia sauce? We have some thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, ketchup, dried minced garlic, dried minced chopped onion. I think I already said the ketchup. We're going to be putting in some baking soda, and I'll tell you the reason what the baking soda is for. You're going to need an egg and, of course, some oatmeal. So with all that being shown to you, let's get right on into the recipe. Okay, I brought a bowl out. Now, I'm going to put the ground beef right into the bowl. We're going to grab 1/4 teaspoon of our baking soda. We have the 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda in a little measuring cup. I'm just going to add just a wee bit of water to dissolve the baking soda all up, such as this. Add that right down on into our ground beef that's in our bowl here. Let's crack open that egg. Put the egg in. You're going to want to add not over 1/4 of a cup of the ketchup. You can use less. So let's go ahead, add that ketchup. Give a few mad dashes of the Worcestershire sauce. Add some mustard. You're going to want to sit there and add some of the thyme. So there the thyme is. You're going to want to add some garlic powder. Add some onion powder. The exact measurements will be down below in the description. We're going to add add a clove of the minced dried garlic. Add the dried chopped onion. Let's add the oatmeal. Let's add some of the French onion soup mix. I'm going to sit there and saute up the mushrooms until they're just tender. We're going to put it down in some oil while we're frying them up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I have the mushrooms that we're going to be adding. Add the white button mushrooms. Now, while my mushrooms are just sauteing up, we're going to come down here and just lightly mix our oatmeal all up with all the other seasonings and such. So let's go ahead and do that. We have all our ground beef mixture all mixed up. Now I'm just waiting for the mushrooms to be done sauteing, and then we're going to add them to our ground beef mixture. There, the mushrooms are all sauteing up real nice. Let's go ahead and add them sauteed up mushrooms. So let's go ahead and add them right to the ground beef. And there we go. Now, let's stir the sauteed mushrooms all up in amongst the meat. And then we're going to sit there and form them into our Salisbury steak patties. So, I'll be back when I'm all done mixing all this up into our Salisbury steak mix. Okay, I have a wide mouth canning ring, and that's the size that we're going to make our Salisbury patties into. So what you would do, just place this down as such. Take some of your Salisbury steak mixture, push it all into the canning ring like such. Turn it over, take it out, and now I'm just going to sit there and lightly sear it. We're going to par cook it. We're just putting the color on to the patty. This way you don't get one big old cohesive glob of meat. You're going to be getting the Salisbury steaks in individual form. So off this goes to get seared up. And also by doing it this way with your canning ring, you know that they're going to fit inside of your wide mouth canning jars. And also, every patty is going to be of uniform size. Okay, I grabbed myself out a dish because these are seared up, and I'm going to show you. Like I say, we're just searing them up. That way you don't get no big gob of meat that sits there and all sticks together. Okay, there's my patties. I'm going to continue shaping the rest of my patties and putting a sear on them. Okay, now that we just seared up our Salisbury steaks, I went ahead, I grabbed 2 teaspoons of the beef broth. I put them in a canning jar, and I'm just going to sit there and mix up some beef broth. I added some water to the beef bouillon, Now, let's just go ahead and give everything a good mix. Now, we're going to sit there and take the seared Salisbury steaks, and we're just going to put them inside of our canning jar. And I like putting the steak inside the canning jar and then adding some broth, and just keep doing that. So let's go ahead, add another one. Add this one to our jar. Push it down just a tad bit. Go ahead, add some more of our beef broth. And we're just going to keep going on until we fill up our jars. You're going to want to leave a 1-inch head space. So let's just grab another one. Place that on down into the jar. And we're going to continue on. So let's add some more broth. I'm going to give it a quick mix. Add a little bit to the jar. Grab another one of these patties. Put that inside of the jar. Just as such. Grab another one. Give that a little push down. Let's add some more of the beef broth. Let's get another patty. Push that on down. And remember, 1-inch head space. I'm just going to put the beef broth over to the side. Now, I showed you this little nifty container that most people put fingernail polish remover in. I put my canning vinegar in it. I take my clean wash rag and I give it a few pumps to soak my dish rag, because I'm not buying paper toweling because it's become so expensive. I rather sit there and put that money towards meat or some other grocery necessity. So I'm opting out of not using any paper toweling this canning season. Now I'm just going to add just a tad bit more of the beef broth to this jar. Just like that. I'm going to sit there and go back around and make sure there is no oil or anything on top of our canning jars. Now I'm going to grab my canning lids. We're going to place them on. I'm going to grab my canning rings. I'm going to place them on as well. Finger tighten the canning rings. And I'll be back because I have to go and set up the canner, and we'll take it from there. I brought out the Instapot Max. Now I'm just going to add enough water down to the inside of the Instapot Max. Then we're going to come down here. I'm hitting the canning button. I already have everything already programmed in. As you see, the time is set for 75 minutes. Now, I'm going to grab my jars of the Salisbury steaks that we canned up. And we put them inside. This recipe gave me enough to do 2 pints. Now, next time I think I would add just enough hamburger and the rest of the ingredients so I could have a full Instapot instead of just 2 pints. Just so you know, I would maybe double the recipe. So I hit the canning button on. I have my canning lid, or not my canning lid, my Instapot Max lid on. Now, I locked it into place. Go ahead, push start. And this is all going to continue to light up. I have it over for Fahrenheit. Right now, it's going to be building up enough pressure and getting up to the proper heat. I set my altitude in already. Here's where it tells me the temperature that my Instapot Max is right now on the inside. I set it for natural venting or natural release. And periodically you're going to hear it go psst, 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 releasing some pressure, just like a regular stovetop pressure canner would. And I'm going to pay the closest attention to the temperature that reaches the inside of my Instapot Max canner. Okay, I decided I had some leftover mushrooms, and my husband loves mushrooms, so I made some mushroom broth, and we're going to sit there and just fill up the Instapot Max to its fullest capacity to go along with Salisbury steaks. So I'm going to quick add these to the Instapot Max and to the Salisbury steak canning jars. Okay, the 2 wide mouths are the Salisbury steaks, and the regular canning jars are of the mushroom broth that can be later turned into a mushroom gravy. So I'm going to put the lid back on quick, and we're going to continue on with the 75 minutes of the pressure canning these. And there you go. These just got pulled out of the canner. And look at all them Salisbury steaks. They're going to be oh so yummy in my tummy. So, if you liked what you saw here today, please give me a big old thumbs up. Show me some love. And if you're new here and you subscribe to my channel, Welcome to the YouTube family. And if you're not yet a subscriber, go up, hit that subscribe button, tap that little bell. That way you always know every time I do put out a new video. And as always, here's to happy canning, but better yet, happy eatings. Y'all come back now, you hear? And here's the Salisbury steak being served up for supper. I know, we gotta take a bite for the YouTubers out there, so I'm gonna quick grab it. I'm gonna get me a bite. And it broke up as I was trying to get it out of my dish here. But as you see, right in here are the mushrooms. It looks like it's really nice and tender and juicy. Oh, yeah. Oh. Mmm. Hey, Big Kahuna. You gotta try this. You ready? I'll get you a bite.
Feed it to me, Ma.
Oh, feed it to you?
Yeah.
Oops. I'm dropping it. Right here's the bite that the Big Kahuna wants me to feed it to him. Like we're newlyweds or something 35 years later.
Tastes good, Mama. Thanks.
You're more than welcome. And there you heard it from him. On a scale of 1 to 5, what would you give this?
5.
It is that good, people. It really is. So, I'm going to let you go because all this goodness, it's calling for me.